When you interpret the Bible, you must do it from a Christocentric lens, which means you must first understand what God is like, His nature, through the person and the life of Jesus Christ. And then you must go to other places in Scripture, like the Old Testament passages, and try to understand what it means. Okay, that's what it means to have Christ as the center, the Christocentric lens. Unfortunately, what most Christians do today is the exact opposite. They go to a random Old Testament passage and they try to understand what it means, and they frame a picture of God from that Old Testament story and then think that's what God is like. And that's why people end up confused about the nature of God, what God is like. And that's why people come up with ideas like God gives sicknesses to people because the story of Job says so in the Old Testament. But that's not how you should do it. You should interpret every passage in Scripture through the person and the life of Jesus Christ. Let me give you an example of how you're supposed to do that. Let's take a passage in the Old Testament, which is in 2 Kings, the book of 2 Kings, chapter 1. There we see an incident happening, which is the army from the king's palace go to arrest the prophet Elijah. And what Elijah does is, he calls down fire from heaven and he burns all these people. Okay? So that happened in the Old Testament. Okay? But the question is that God's true nature? Is that God's heart to burn people down? Yes, God allowed it. God gave Elijah that sort of an authority and power in that time and in that age. God allowed it because, Elijah used the power that God had given him in that manner. It's not necessarily that God wanted to have, but God gave Elijah authority and power, and Elijah used it in that manner to burn people. But is that really the heart of God? Is that what God is really like? Let's see from the New Testament. Come to Luke chapter 9, verses 51 to 56. There what happens is Jesus and his disciples come to a village of the people called the Samaritans. But they reject Jesus' message and teachings. So what the disciples say is, Jesus, can we call down fire from heaven and burn these people just like Elijah did? Basically they're saying, Elijah did it in the Old Testament. Let's burn these people. But you know what Jesus says? Jesus turns around, scolds them, he rebukes them, and he says, you do not know what manner of spirit you are. For the Son of Man did not come to burn people and condemn people. He didn't come to destroy people. He came to save people. So you see, that's the true heart of God and the true nature of God revealed through Jesus. Jesus didn't come to burn people. He came to save people. But you can only know that through the new covenant lens of Christ.